Have you ever thought about the price of a human organ? Not in economic terms, but the real human cost that comes with it? It's a chilling thought, isn't it? And yet, it's a reality for many people in Asian countries where organ harvesting is a burgeoning problem. Organ harvesting, while it may sound like a plot from a dystopian novel, is a very real and urgent issue. It's driven by a stark imbalance between the demand for organs and the available lawful supply. This imbalance has created a dark and hidden market, thriving on the desperation of those living in poverty. For these individuals, the choice often lies between a life of continued hardship or selling a part of themselves, often under coercion or deception. This underground trade doesn't just exist in a vacuum. It thrives in areas of socio-economic disparity, and nowhere is this more apparent than on the Asian continent. The wide economic gaps here provide a fertile ground for exploitation, further deepening the suffering of the poor and marginalized. The fallout from this illicit trade is far-reaching. From an ethical standpoint, it's a gross violation of human rights, reducing people to mere commodities. Legally, it presents a formidable challenge, exposing glaring loopholes in national and international laws that traffickers exploit with seeming impunity. The health implications for both donors and recipients are equally catastrophic, with unsanitary conditions and lack of professional medical care posing serious risks. So how can we address this multifaceted crisis? It requires a comprehensive approach. Laws in Asian countries need to be fortified and enforcement mechanisms amplified. International cooperation must be fostered to combat this transnational crime, but laws and enforcement alone aren't sufficient. We need to raise public awareness about the devastating effects of organ trafficking, thereby reducing the demand. Simultaneously, we need to promote ethical organ donation to bridge the supply-demand gap. This can help alleviate the factors driving this illicit trade, offering a lawful and life-saving alternative. In essence, the fight against organ harvesting in Asia is not just a legal or medical challenge, it's a moral call to arms that demands unified action. It's about upholding the dignity and rights of every human being. It's about ensuring that no one is reduced to the sum of their parts. It's about standing up against exploitation and saying with one voice that every life matters. So let's remember, the organ harvesting crisis isn't just an Asian problem, it's a global issue. It's a fight for human rights, for justice, and for a world where every person is valued not for what their body parts might be worth, but for who they are as individuals. Because in the end, the price of a human organ should never be a human life.